Consistently updating your research log might seem like one of the most boring steps of genealogy, but it's also one of the most important. If you can make it part of your research habits when you start, you'll be much better off. The validity of a genealogical fact is only as good as its source, and as a genealogist, each fact must be backed up by a reliable source. You need evidence to support the information. This could even be something as simple as, my mom was there at the wedding, she supplied the names, dates, and photos, but you always want to know where you got the information from. I completely understand the urge to click on the little green leaves and accept the hints and watch your tree grow quickly. When I first began years ago, that's exactly what I did. I didn't learn the importance of evaluating and analyzing a source thoroughly until later, and once I did, I realized I had a bit of a mess on my hands because I hadn't kept a research log and I had no idea where I'd gotten certain information and sources all these years later. In many cases, I had to do the research over again and retrace my steps to prove the validity and soundness of my research. The last thing you want to do is spend hours researching someone or a family only to learn that the information you were relying on as fact to link them to your family tree was not based on a reliable source, and in fact, you've been researching the wrong ancestor as a result of that. It's not uncommon to find a tree on Ancestry that's completely unsourced, and so you have no idea if the information is indeed fact or where they got the information from. Beware of these trees. A tree without any sources may indicate a lack of research and evidence and could therefore be entirely unreliable. You have no idea. Unfortunately, you'll see this frequently where someone has accepted a hint from another family tree on Ancestry that's unsourced, only to find later that this information was not correct and the mistake is only being perpetuated by the other trees containing the same mistake. Just because 20 different trees have that same information does not mean the information is true. The validity of a fact lies in the sources that are attached to it. I learned this the hard way, and there's still details to this day that I'm sorting out because I'm not sure where I got the information from in the first place. Was it one of these faulty trees? Was it word of mouth? I have no idea without a research log telling me where it came from and when I found it. Save yourself the time and unnecessary frustration and just log your research as you go. When it comes to the log, you can be as informal or as detailed and organized as you like, but at the very least, I suggest logging where and when you found the source and what it is. The where is important so that you can relocate the source should you ever need to. The when is important because database and collections are constantly being updated and digitized, so it helps to know at what point in time you searched those records. And of course, the what is important because it details the information held within the source, linking the evidence of that fact or event to your ancestor. There are plenty of free research log templates that you could use, and I'll link some of those below in the description if you're interested. You can use a Word document, a spreadsheet, notebook, anything that you feel comfortable using where you can log the information with ease. Personally, I like using Google Spreadsheets because I can take my research log wherever I go, whether that's on my phone, when I'm researching on location, or in the comfort of my home from my desktop. The spreadsheet is keyword searchable, and I can use the columns to choose how I want to view the organized information. So if I want to see an entry that I've created for one ancestor in particular, I can choose to have the log sorted by that column from A to Z, for example, so I can see every entry created specifically for that ancestor. So let's make a quick spreadsheet from scratch. We go to Google Spreadsheets and create a new one by clicking on blank. For me, I like to use 5 columns, so the date I found the source, the name of the ancestor that the source is for, the name of the source itself, where I found the source, and a notes section. The notes section can include as much detail as you like. It can be a simple description of the information given by the source, whether your results were positive or negative, which in and of itself is important to record because if you ever find yourself wondering whether you've already searched a particular collection for this record, your log will tell you. Or your notes can be more detailed and have your hypothesis, your research question, your analysis of the document, It can have the names of any other ancestors that are addressed in the record so that you can find them through keyword search. You can include any questions that the source has brought up, possible next steps for your research, anything like that can go in your notes section. Now, citations are a big deal in genealogy, and I'll cover them in another video, along with more information on formulating research questions and research plans. But the main takeaway that I want to provide you with for this video today is that you should start logging your research from the beginning, or at the very least, just start logging it today. It doesn't have to be complicated. Don't get intimidated or overwhelmed by the amount of detail that you need. By simply noting what the source is and when and where you found it, you'll be doing yourself a big favor in the long run. If you've been following my videos for how to begin your family history research step by step, you should start logging your research by including your personal family history items that you've been gathering. This will give you a more clear picture of what you have to begin with, and it'll give you the opportunity to start analyzing these items to determine what information and clues they hold. This analysis might spark some questions that you'll want to research or provide clues as to which record sets you might want to search. So if you found military memorabilia for an ancestor in your family history items, for example, you can make a note in the log to research military records for that ancestor. So start that research log today and thank yourself later. Until next time, this is Nicole with Family's Legacy. Thanks for watching. I hope it's been helpful in starting your family history research so far.